Thanks for joining us today to discuss life and godliness with Rick and Angela Carter. If you'd like to be part of the conversation, email us at cartersforhope@gmail.com. That's Carters, the number 4, hope@gmail.com. Any questions you have, we'll discuss in future episodes. Right now, sit back and let's join in on the conversation. Hey everyone, look at this beautiful scenery. Scenic. I tried to mix that. We're in Ohio, Chillicothe.
Yeah, but technically, I guess
We're not in
town is
Chillicothe.
in Londonderry.
Yeah, but we're at the Sage.
Sage Hill Escape.
Look at that. That's actually the front, and it is a beautiful place. They have two cabins here. Mark and Stephanie Sage, who pastor over in Mainville, and
It is.
they gave us a opportunity to come to the cabin for a couple nights, and it has been fantastic.
Oh my goodness!
Hot tub,
wish I could show you
around
the scenery. Like we're in the forest,
right? And it's just great. It's really a beautiful, comfortable place, and
nobody
pool table
around.
and foosball. Angela lost at foosball. I want to point that out.
Barely. I came back for a little while.
She got 3 points at one point. Anyway, so, and then it's not too far from Chillicothe, which is where the Indian Mound place is. That's pretty famous. Mm-hmm. And then there's a really great disc golf place there too.
Yeah, we actually enjoyed doing the disc golf.
Yeah, and that's like 20 minutes away to that town or something. So it's not too far, and there's Walmart and stuff there. So anyway, but it is really nice if you're ever wanting to get away. This is a great option.
It is amazing.
And, we're not saying that because we were paid to. We're just have really enjoyed being here.
So remember, Sage Hill Escape.
Right. And I think it's probably on Airbnb and VRBO and all that stuff.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, we had a request for a topic. Oh, we had a great conference. Before we get to the topic, we had a great conference over in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, marriage conference.
Yeah, with Lehigh Valley Baptist Church, and we did. The topic was conflict resolution, and did 4 sessions. 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, and then
2 Sunday.
Preached 2 services Sunday, but on the same topic. And that went really well. We had a great time over there with the church, and just a good response from everybody.
People.
Yeah, good
Sweet
folks.
People.
So anyway, we are going to talk about a topic that was requested by Miss Tori Leslie,
our
original super fan. And she asked if we would share book recommendations. Yep. And we obviously both have different book recommendations that we may have a few crossover. I don't know if we have any crossover or not.
I don't know. I
think probably not. But we asked last time who is more likely to buy a book.
Oh yeah.
And so we'll ask another question at the end of this. All right. This is kind of the weekly engagement question. Mm-hmm. So we asked who was more likely to buy a book. And
the answer
is we had some, but here's the thing. The question is more likely to buy a book broadly, and the answer is me.
It is him. His list is like twice as long as mine.
But the other thing is, if we were to narrow it by topic or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Angela has bought lots of cookbooks, lots of ladies' books. She buys lots of devotionals, stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't just buy random citizen books.
I buy
books with a purpose.
I buy books of all kinds.
Somebody buys random citizen books.
No, I just have a broad scope of interests, and so I'm not going to list every kind of book that I have bought because that would be too long of an episode.
Because he buys the most books.
And let me say this though: the list here that I have is not in order of I recommend this first, next kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is yours that way?
No.
Okay. This list is just
books
these
I've
are
bought.
first books that came to my list. I was set down to make a list, and I'm just like, not just bought, read.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I sat down to make my list and just kind of general off the top of my head trying to think of, okay, topics and what books in various topics, and just kind of as they came to me, type things. So, all right.
Yep.
So some of mine are not Christian books.
Okay.
Are yours all Christian books?
Mine are all Christian books.
So some of mine are
or at
not.
least written by Christians.
Well, I don't know if all mine are written by Christians or not, but
all mine are.
I cannot guarantee they're all written by Christians, but they were all helpful to me.
Okay.
In the various areas.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll start. I have a lot more. How many do you have?
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16.
Well, I have 12, and then my 13th topic is multiple books, but under as a group.
Well, I have several multiple book things that are only listed once because I have 16 authors.
Wow.
That I have on my list.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's more authors.
I only have 7 authors.
Yeah, there's not as many authors for ladies' books.
Well, they're just not, some of them are not great.
Well, but I mean, I'm saying that you would recommend. And because I was outside of just a single category, I have more recommendations, I guess.
Sure.
So, all right, I'll start, and I'll give, you have a dozen, and I have 16. Oh, somewhere
I have a baker's dozen.
I'll pick up a couple there somewhere. Okay. So my first recommendations are from the books of S.A. Scott, and those are available on Baptist Authors, and also some of them are on Amazon. All of them are on Baptist Authors, and my favorite S.A. Scott book is Influence. It is a fantastic book on the principle of influence and versus control, and how to apply it in your home and in your ministry and various things like that. And so I recommend that book in particular, but all of his books are great. Though that book I even got and gave to all of our leadership in the church at one point.
It's a very good book.
And yeah, it's excellent. And by the way, let me just mention, if you're watching this, that yes, I got a bad haircut. And it cost me.
Have noticed if you wouldn't have looked.
Yeah, they would have. I'm looking at it going, oh my goodness, it's horrible. And it cost me $30 to get this bad haircut. So
yeah, but you heard some really awesome testimony.
This is one of the big problems of traveling, to be honest, because anyway. All right, go ahead. You're next.
Well, I was going to say about that book, Influence. I really, that book really helped me understand parenting.
Yeah, I think that was an excellent point in it.
Because I struggled with it. Like, I wanted to control. But then after we read that book, it was like, no, really, I want to influence.
Yeah.
And so, anyway.
Yeah. Control ends, influence doesn't.
Good book.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay, so my first book, and this is one I go to like quite often because it really was a blessing to me. And that is Full Disclosure, Real Talk About Real Talk About Raw Emotions by Amy Edwards. She is Independent Baptist. She does only use King James. She does reference.
So is S.A. Scott.
Yeah. She does reference like some other Christian ladies in her book that are not Baptist, but I always preference my books whenever I am teaching through them or whenever I recommend them. I don't always agree with everything, but most everything that Amy Edwards has written that I have read, I've agreed pretty much with.
Yeah.
And so
you've often said to me, she's saying stuff you teach and whatnot.
Yeah.
That makes her right. If I teach it.
She is a Christian counselor, but all of her stuff that she has written is really sound biblically.
Okay.
And not so much psychological. So but I really love that book right there because we did it as a ladies' Bible study at Beth Haven, and I think it took us 2 years to get through. And but we only met once a month. But to me, it really does talk about the essence of ladies because we are typically emotional beings, and it was just really helpful to me just to help understand emotions.
Good.
So
I like it. Okay. My next recommendation is from Lou Priolo, and it's exactly how it sounds, Priolo. And Priolo.
I know.
I don't know. I could be pronouncing it wrong, maybe. I don't know. But the book is Pleasing People, and excellent book. I've recommended it many times. He also has other books that are very good. The Heart of Anger, on dealing with anger in children, and
You've recommended that one a lot.
that many times, and also resolving conflicts or conflict resolution. I can't remember what the exact title is, but his books have all been that I've read. I've read those 3. Those are all excellent books. I know he has some more, but he's not Independent Baptist and he's not King James, but the books are fantastic. And I do recommend those books. Now that's one recommendation just of him as an author,
right?
But several books that I recommend there. I think the Pleasing People book in particular is very helpful because there's so much performance-based acceptance amongst people, not just amongst Independent Baptists, but broadly amongst people. And I think he does a very good job of covering that principle and understanding what the Bible actually teaches about acceptance and how to approach that. So, and I'll talk about acceptance in another place with another author here in a few minutes too.
So you mentioned at the beginning I like to buy devotionals. I do. And one of the devotionals that I liked was by Amy Edwards, and it's called the Reflection Series. Her very first one, I almost didn't continue in it because at the beginning part of the first volume, I think it's like 4 or 5 volumes long. The first one, it was kind of boring to me, but I was like,
it's okay to be honest about that.
Come on, Angela, you can get through this. But about halfway through, it was the first time she'd ever written a devotional. I believe she tells us in there, and so I just kept going, and you could tell kind of like halfway through, she kind of got her rhythm, and they were very good. Like I enjoyed the whole rest of the series, so it's very good.
Nice. Okay, the next recommendation I have is for Gene Edwards, and that's Gene Edwards. And the book, there's 2 books that I recommend from him. One is The Prisoner in the Third Cell. That's the one I have down. And then the other one would be A Tale of Three Kings. A lot of people have read A Tale of Three Kings. If you haven't read it, you should. It's a fantastic book. But The Prisoner in the Third Cell is
that the one we listened
to? Yes.
Yeah, that was really good.
Oh my goodness, what an amazing book. And it's about so his books are based on Bible characters and principles, but they're fiction in some ways. Like he basically is telling a story using that person, but there's stuff that's like he's filling in the blank kind of thing. And so that book is about John the Baptist when he was in prison. But I'm telling you, I mean, I cried at the end of that book. It was fantastic.
We were driving,
and I was like, oh my goodness, that was amazing. So I listened to it. I know, I listened to it, but reading or listening to it, either way, it is a great book.
Yes. So the next one is by Amy Edwards, and it's Women of the Word. We did that one as a ladies' Bible study as well, and that took us several years. It's really good. There was a couple in there. I can't remember which ladies. Couple of her thoughts on the lady that I didn't necessarily agree with. I didn't think it was
Vashti.
Yeah, Vashti was one. But for the most part, all of them are really good. I don't know how to explain how she talked about it. The ladies that had a lot written about them in the Bible, she was very good about pulling out different aspects of them. If there wasn't much said about it, she kind of over elaborated or took creative license, I guess. And I didn't really care for that. But she didn't say anything that was wrong as far as.
Yeah, and that happens. I mean, I think all of us can do that at times. All right, my next book is by Paul David Tripp, who is a pretty popular author, not independent Baptist. The book I recommend by him is A Dangerous Calling. And again, I would say I don't necessarily agree with everything he wrote in there. He is Presbyterian, and so his pastoral theology is a little bit different. However, his analysis of the dangers of pastoring is pretty good. I mean, it's actually really good. And so I recommend it, even if I don't think you have to agree with everything in every book to get something good from it. And I got something good from that book. Several good things from that book I felt like were very beneficial. So I would recommend to any pastor that it's a good read. All right. You're looking for something, so I'm going to do my next one.
Go ahead, yeah.
My next recommendation is for a book by James Clear, Clear, and that is Atomic Habits. It's not a Christian book.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talking about that.
It's a fantastic book on habit building, but the relationship of building habits and dopamine and various different aspects of that. I think it's a great read for any person for anybody really, but especially if you're dealing with people as in ministry. I think it would be very, very helpful to you and give you a really good insight into how habits work, but also how they're formed and how they're broken. And so I think that it's just a fantastic book.
Yeah.
Atomic Habits.
Yeah, I remember you talking a lot about that book. So, all right. So the next one was actually recommended to me by another pastor's wife, and it is Minerals for the Mind, a study of Romans 12.
You haven't read this one.
I have.
Oh, you did.
I've read this one. Okay. And the other one is Vitamins for the Soul.
And who wrote those?
Let me see if I can pull up the author.
You just remembered this one a second ago, huh?
Yes, I did. By Kathy Ashley. She wrote both of those books, actually.
Oh, okay. Now these aren't. These are actually about minerals and vitamins.
But applying them, the value of the mineral and vitamins, what they do to the body, and pulling out Romans 12, what the spiritual side, how they.
Okay. So kind of a crossover.
Yes.
Health and Bible.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't so much say health, but just knowledge about vitamins and minerals.
That's for your health, right?
Yeah, all technical on me.
Okay.
But it was
my next book recommendation is for my best favorite book on essential oils.
Oh my gosh.
We do use essential oils some.
Wow.
But I'm just making a joke about this.
Wow.
But I know what you're talking about because I know you've read that, and minerals and vitamins are very necessary for the Bible.
It was just really neat.
For the Bible, for the body.
Oh, for the body. It was just really neat just to see how the correlation, what our body needs to work properly, and then what our soul and spirit needs to work properly. And it was a really good study. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, I remember you reading those books.
Yep.
Okay. My next book recommendation, and let me just preface this with, I'm not recommending any of my own books, only because I thought that would be kind of weird. But if I've written a book on a topic, it's probably my first recommendation because it's exactly what I think, except for if I've changed my opinion.
And in which case you edit the book.
Anyway, so this is a book on marriage by Jim Binney called The Ministry of Marriage.
Ooh, that was my favorite marriage book.
Like it was...
I mean, other than yours. Outside of yours.
Wow. I feel like you're just saying that now. I don't feel like you really...
Whatever.
Anyway, but The Ministry of Marriage, I felt like it was probably outside of the one I wrote, obviously, probably the best marriage book I've read. And I've read a number of marriage books, quite a few.
Yes.
There's good stuff in all of them. I don't diminish that. But at the same time, I feel like it's probably one of the better ones that I've read. Everyone recommends Love and Respect. I despise that book.
He doesn't like it.
It's okay.
He doesn't like the style.
I hate the style.
The information was good.
Yeah, but it's also very basic, simple, and basically it could have been written in about 3 sentences, and it's just like all kinds of anecdotes. I just hate the book.
Really feel.
I am telling you how I feel. I'm not saying the content is bad in the sense of,
some people need lots of examples.
I just tell me and then move on. It's just, I don't understand why it had to be such a long book. But
so funny.
It's probably the number one book you hear recommended.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, I'm just going to be honest about this. I hardly ever counsel anyone on marriage counseling that hasn't already read it. And they tell me, we've read that book. And so I doubt the efficacy of it. I'm just being honest. People read the book and I don't feel like that it actually changes things for them because they're still doing all the wrong things.
Yeah, could be.
And so I'm not saying no one has. I'm just saying I've counseled a lot of people who've read it who are still messed up in their marriage. And so just take that for what it is. Anyway, but and there's other good marriage books. I'm not saying there aren't, but I feel like that one's a really good one.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, good.
So the next one is also one that was recommended, and it was Walk in Truth by Joyce White. And it's on 2 John. And it was really good too. I really did enjoy that.
You mean 2 John?
2 John. Not to me, but to John. But that one was really good. I did enjoy that. And the last 3 books that I recommended, the only place I've been able to get them at is The Sword. So
Sword of the Lord?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, before I give my next book recommendation, just because someone said this the other day is how annoying it is when YouTubers all say like, share, and subscribe and all that. So like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there for them.
We got to get different hand motions because I don't know what that was.
Join together with us.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, come along.
Also, I don't know why this popped into my head, but I'm looking over it to see this wood over here and the knots in it and all that. Mm-hmm. So Angela and I, this is our pastime here, and we do this whenever we find wood like this. With the knots and stuff. So the ceiling in the bedroom is this way. And we just lay on the bed and we are like, oh, see the dog or the bear or the owl. Because it always looks like faces of animals, doesn't it?
Mark and Stephanie, next time you're here, you have to see if you see the same thing.
Anyway, it was pretty cool. I don't know why that popped into my head.
I don't know why
either. Lots of weird things pop into my head.
I didn't notice the knots. I noticed the ant crawling in the window over there.
Okay.
It was terrible.
Well, that's just part. That's not. We haven't seen bugs all over at all.
No, it's actually
on the outside.
It's on the outside.
Okay.
But I was just like,
I have not seen bugs in here at all. So
yeah, it was on the outside.
Okay, so okay, just to say something about that, Angela.
I don't like ants.
Is freaked out by ants, particularly, and like runs when she sees them. It's unbelievable. Okay, let me go to my next topic, and I'm actually going to give. I have 2 down, but there's actually a third one I'm going to give on this topic. So I'm going to give all of them at once. So this makes me have 17 authors. But a book that's really good is called AAA Parenting. And that's by Timothy Geist. And excellent book on parenting. Very good. And can I say this? I'm going to give a couple other books on parenting. And I know one of the other men, but I don't know his kids, so I can't speak to his kids, but I can speak to Timothy Geist's kids.
Yeah.
They're all fantastic.
They're all
amazing. They're grown and love the Lord, walk with God.
Yeah.
Serving the Lord. So I know the fruit of
not to
home.
say that other people who may have written books on raising kids. I mean, I'm not saying kids have their.
I'm just saying they're great kids. Yeah. And again, I'm not even recommending my book, The Spiritual Home: Raising Godly Kids here, just because it's mine. But anyway, just for.
But that is a great book.
But AAA Parenting by Timothy Geist, and then David Sorensen wrote a book, Training Your Children to Turn Out Right.
Yes,
I feel like it's an excellent book. And David Sorensen has many other books. I've not read a bad book from David Sorensen. His book on pastoring is good. And so I think he's an independent Baptist. Timothy Geist is an independent Baptist. David Sorensen's Independent Baptist.
Well, and that book, the Training Your Children Turn Out Right, really focuses on not just creating good kids, but creating spiritual kids.
Yeah, and I think that's
it was very good.
a real important key. And then the last book is a book by Lance Ketchum, and I believe he's Independent Baptist also, and it's Parenting a Soul. And I don't think you've read that book.
I have.
I have read that book. I felt like it was very beneficial. There was a lot of good stuff in there. I don't know him. I believe, though, he is Independent Baptist, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, it's a very good book. All three of those books on parenting, and I feel like those will be helpful to people.
Yeah, very good. So my next one is by another Independent Baptist lady, Crystal Ratcliffe. So I've read these 4 books of hers. There's A Fly in My Tea, Arise, Pulling Weeds and Planting Seed, and It's Time. And they are excellent.
Was that 4 of your 7?
Yeah, it was.
13? Okay.
So
wow.
But those books I've read. She has many more books, and she's coming out with some devotionals and things. I just saw. And matter of fact, right now she's having a sale because you can go to her website and there's a clearance sale right now, and get her books at a discounted price. But they're very good. She's Independent Baptist, sound in her doctrine. I have not read anything that I don't agree with, and just really good, challenging things to pull out. So I really enjoy her. And actually, I was at a conference, a ladies' conference with her, and met her in person, and she's just super sweet. And I really did enjoy visiting with her. Good. And so she's a good lady.
Yeah, I remember meeting her also. Okay, my next is by Charles Solomon. And Charles Solomon was a Bible counselor. He developed what he called it spiritual therapy. His ministry is based out of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've actually been there.
Grace Fellowship Ministries. And his book called The Handbook to Happiness is, I feel like, a very helpful book.
Yeah.
He's got another book called The Ins, I-N-S, and Out, O-U-T. And I say that because it's plural on ins and not on out. The ins and out of rejection. And it's a great book on rejection and acceptance. I mentioned earlier, pleasing people. And this is a book I highly recommend. Also, he's not Independent Baptist. It's not King James. And I don't agree with everything he says in the book. I primarily, the ins and out of rejection, the first section, I think, is the most valuable. And so as he gets further, there's some things I don't necessarily agree with, but the first section I think is fantastic and very helpful. And the book, The Ins and Out of Happiness, the Handbook to Happiness, I think is almost all of it is very
I will say
helpful.
His books they're deep.
They are.
So for me, I had to read them slow, and I think I actually had to reread a couple of chapters a couple of times to fully understand what he was saying.
I sped read them, but whatever.
Whatever.
So I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna shove you out that window.
Hey, watch it, lady.
Anyway, but but the things in there are life transforming if you will grab a hold of them.
Yeah, I think that he's got some excellent things that are very, very helpful to people. So I highly recommend that. And the best place to get his books is to go to Grace Fellowship International website and order them from them. Otherwise,
cheaper.
Way cheaper. Sometimes on eBay or Amazon, you'll find them, and they're ridiculous prices for some reason because people don't know where to get them.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So that's really good.
All right.
So the next book is one that I just read this year. It was given to me last year, I think, but I didn't get around to it. But I did this year. And it is Seeking the Goodness of God After Betrayal by Annie Pine.
Yeah, that's a
excellent book. And I've had so many people ask me about.
And Annie's an Independent Baptist.
Yes, she is. So. And she's super sweet too. And I love her red hair. I'm so jealous. It's curly. Anyway. Sorry. I know you're listening, Annie. I love your hair.
Girls are weird.
But I've had so many people
Can you imagine me ever saying something like, I just think his hair is amazing. Anyway, go ahead.
Seems to be you.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, I've had a lot of people ask me about books for ladies that have experienced deep betrayal, and honestly, I had not found a good one. I'd read several and I didn't like them, but this one I really, really, really like. And I've read the entire book, gone through the book, and it's very good. So you can get it on Amazon. Just you can look up her name or the title, either way, and it should come up. And it's kind of a light blue book that has like a lily or a flower on it, and but it's very, very good, and it's kind of a workbook study, so it's excellent.
Good. I like that. Okay, so my next one is not spiritual at all. It's just really cool. I think men will really enjoy this book. It's called Men to Match My Mountains by Irving Stone. You can get it on Amazon and maybe other places, but I know it's there. And it is such a cool book about the settling of the American West and just the men that were engaged in that. It's not a huge book. It's not super long. It's just super interesting. And I was fascinated by it. There's a part in it that really, to me, had a real, I don't know, I had kind of this visceral response to it because of church planting, to be honest, even though it's not about spiritual things at all. It's about settling the West. But it tells the story about people in their wagons being at St. Louis and people coming to them, like traveling sometimes days to come and tell them not to go. Don't go. It's going to be terrible. You're going to die and all this bad stuff is going to happen to you. And literally these people came all that way just to try and keep someone else from doing what they wanted to from going out. And it just reminded me of how sometimes people act toward missions and church planting and that of like, don't do it. Oh no, it's gonna be hard. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But I don't know, that story in there, that portion of the story just really hit me hard. It did. But the whole book was fantastic. So I really liked that book.
So the next one is one I've taught in our seminary and we've recommended numerous times in counseling, and it's Changed into His Image by Jim Berg. I didn't know if that was on your list.
Nope, it's not. It's a great book though.
But I really like that book. And
Created for His Glory also. Did you have that down?
I did not have that one.
Both of those.
I've read that one.
Both of those are excellent.
But yeah, excellent book. And it's a dad that's writing things that he wanted to impart to his daughters, and it was just excellent and loads of spiritual truth in there. And I taught it in our seminary, in our women counseling women class, and I'm not a great teacher as far as in the seminary, but I just loved that book. I thought it was excellent principles to
self-deprecating. All right. Anything else, sir?
True. No, not under him.
Okay. My next one, Angela and I both agree, although she didn't want to mention it. So I'm going to mention it. It's, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Arnold Frauenbaum. The book is Biblical Lovemaking. It's available on Amazon. It's the best book on intimacy I know of, and it's not graphic. It's written based on Song of Solomon. He was a Jew. The author is a pastor who was a Jew, and his perspective on what Solomon is talking about and writing about was fantastic.
It really is just a study of the Song of Solomon.
It is.
And it's not graphic at all.
No, but it's transformative in your perspective, I think.
It is.
Yeah, I thought
great
really
principles.
Great book. Yep. All right, move on quick before we get to
I know, we're going to get lots of hate mail for that one.
No, it's not a graphic book at all. It's one I can recommend to anyone.
Yes. The next one is kind of an older book. She's kind of updated it, added another couple of chapters to it, but it's Lies Women Believe by Nancy DeMoss Wolgemuth is how you say her married name, which her husband passed away this past year, so it was really just kind of sad. But it's a good book. She really highlights a lot of key lies that us women tend to believe, and she points out the lie, and then she gives the truth from the Word of God in there, and it's really good.
There's a teen version of that.
There is a teen version, and I've taught through the teen version as well, and it's really good as well. But I can't remember. I don't think she uses the King James Bible in there.
No, it's not King James.
But the principles, if you follow in your King James Bible, is still there, and
Okay.
it's good.
Good. All right. I think none of the rest of my books are biblical focused at all. So, well, I mean, that doesn't mean they're not spiritual focused. So the next one is, well, I guess this one would still be biblical focused. It's Robert Gallaty and Stephen Smith, and the book is Preaching for the Rest of Us. It's my favorite book on preaching, and I have recommended it many times. And I feel like it focuses on textual preaching. It is accessible for people to understand, whereas Haddon Robinson's book, I think, is sometimes too deep for many people to understand. Haddon Robinson's book, Expository Preaching, is a great book. I'm not diminishing that. I feel like, though, it's over where most people are. And also, it goes into so much more technicality. And this book is just about how to look at a text, learn what it means, and preach from the text. Let the text guide the message. And I feel like that right there would transform most preaching. And it would eliminate the close your Bible, you don't need your Bible stuff.
Style preaching.
Or a verse and then, 3 of my own thoughts about the verse kind of preaching. And I'm not saying everything said in those type of preaching is wrong. I'm not. But I do believe that preaching ought to be based on the text and not just my opinions, my thoughts about it. And so expounding on the text is an important part of preaching. And so that book, Preaching for the Rest of Us, I feel like is a very accessible, usable book.
Okay. Nice. I haven't read that book for obvious reasons.
Really? Although Angela's one of the better preachers I know.
Wow.
But her messages
Obviously
are mean.
not.
Very mean.
You
And
haven't got some of it.
she's never had a convert, not one. So
anyway. So the next one I've read is called Faces of Friendship by Debbie Pride. She's actually written several books. I think I've read more than that one. I can't remember the other titles.
We've read a couple of them.
But it's an excellent book. Very, very good. So
okay.
That was recommended to me by a pastor's wife down in North Carolina. So
okay. So none of the rest of my books are Bible focused. I'm going back to it. I skipped that on purpose for that reason. None of the rest of them are Bible focused. All right. So this book is on productivity and scheduling, and it's by Tim Challies or Challies. I don't know. I think it's Challies. But the title is Do More Better.
Grammar.
One, I like the way it's written. That's my style of writing. 2, it's just a very practical book. I felt like it's not a long book, but I felt like it was a good book on the topic and gave very practical, usable things. And sometimes those books don't necessarily give the most practical ideas.
Very nice. So the next one I taught in the teen class when I taught our teen girls class, and it's called Is Your Fruit Sweet or Sour by Karen Finn. Excellent book. It is kind of a little study guide workbook. But it talks about the fruit of the Spirit and what kind of fruit your life is producing. And it was excellent for the girls. And awesome. She's Baptist as well. She's independent Baptist as well. So
right. Okay.
Very good.
Very good. All right. And then my next one is by Joe Navarro. And Joe has several books on this topic. He was an FBI. He was in the FBI and dealt with and that reminds me, that other book, what was the name of that other book? There was another book I read on negotiating. Yeah. It was Start With No, I think. Is that the right one? No. Is that the right one? I can't remember. Anyway, there was a book on negotiating that was written by, no, it wasn't Start With No. It was that one, whatever that other book on negotiating, and I totally didn't even think about it until just now, but it was phenomenal on negotiation, and it details the history and changes of FBI negotiations over years, and the exact reason and cases, and details the cases as to why they made adjustments. And the fellow that wrote that was like the the only kidnap negotiator for the FBI for years, and I should have thought of that, and I don't know. The title's
I
not coming
remember
up.
you reading that. You were like so
It
into
was
that.
amazing, yeah. But Joe Navarro wrote. He was with the FBI also, and he wrote. He was an interrogator or whatever, but he wrote a number of books on body language, and so he wrote one called "What Every Body (BODY) is Saying," and instead of everybody, get it, play on words, but it's on body language. It's very helpful. Again, it's not a Christian book,
No.
and nothing like that. But
I think Charity's read that one. She really likes it.
yeah, I think it was an excellent book. Boy, what was that other book? If I remember it before we finish, I'll mention it.
Okay, so then my next one isn't so much one book.
This is your last one or next
Yeah,
one?
this is my last one. But it is Gracious Digitals on Amazon. It's the Leslies in
The person that recommended we do this one,
it is in
we're
Croatia.
recommending your books.
Oh, because I have bought them for my grandkids.
Yeah, and they love them.
They love them, but they cover all kinds of topics.
They're kids' books.
Oh, the one that Tori wrote on the twins. I don't know if I can find the title of that one, but let's see. I don't remember. Oh, Womb Mates is what the name of it is. But my friend in Ohio here, her daughter had twins and she bought it and she said it was just excellent. So but they cover all kinds of topics for kids, helping them understand, life, and then just some fun ones and some science ones. And so
Gracious Digitals is great. Johnny writes books.
Yes.
Johnny Leslie and Tori Leslie.
Yeah, and I think he just wrote one called Papa, My Best Friend, and they kind of they are actually the ones that inspired us to write for our grandkids because that's what they do.
Well, we were already trying to write, but they gave us a lot of instruction.
Yes,
so not inspired us to write, but gave us a lot of help on getting to the publishing side.
It was just excellent, and I just love reading their books, and I love getting them for my grandkids because I know there's going to be good sound truth and biblical principles taught in them, and fun, and I don't have to worry about.
And if there's scripture, it's King James.
Stuff, being put in there. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Okay, my last two recommendations, and we'll be done. These are two different authors. The first is by and they're both on kind of missions related topics. Okay, neither one of them Bible related.
No.
Tanya Crossman wrote a book called Misunderstood: The Impact of Growing Up Overseas in the 21st Century.
Yeah.
Excellent book. It's not specifically about missionaries, although it has very good principles and things that I think are valuable, and it does address missionaries directly.
I think you bought
I bought a bunch of them, and I have handed out a bunch of them. So I recommend that book greatly. And then the other one is called Foreign to Familiar. It's by Sarah Lanier, and it is an excellent book on understanding the differences in cultures, cold culture versus hot culture. And I feel like one of the best books on that topic. It's not very big, but it's very, very good.
Right.
And so that is all of the books for recommending today, right? I mean, that's all the books.
I mean, that's all the
books.
books
I wish I could remember what that other book was.
Didn't you get it on Audible?
Yes.
Because you listened to it.
Yes, but I don't know. I don't remember the title for some reason or the author, but it was fantastic. If I remember next time we talk. Oh, quick. Our question of the
that's on your phone.
Question of the week. Let me find it here. Who is more likely? This is Rick or Angela, right? Let me see here. No, I got it here. Huh. I tell you what the problem is I have too many notes in my phone. Right there it is. Rick or Angela. And the question is, come on now, where's my list? I've got a list right here that we made. Well, all right. I know what some of them are, so I'm just going to take one. I was going to go through the list directly, but who is more likely to cook?
Oh, yeah. Who is more likely to cook?
Who's more likely to cook, Rick or Angela?
Come back next next Friday and you'll find out.
All right. We'll talk to y'all then.